Hello guys, Adam here from Pause Games and welcome back to Planet Zoo. So today we are starting our very first build and we are doing it all in this one episode. So that's what we're going to do for the next couple of, I don't know, weeks, days, whatever. We're going to do a few little one-off builds just to get our teeth into the game. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all of the Planet Zoo action. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to give us a like down below. So what are we building today? Now you've probably seen from the title and the thumbnail, but we are doing a Siberian Tiger enclosure. So that's what we are doing. Theming wise, we're keeping it relatively East Asia. My main reason for that is because I wanted to try out the new theme that we didn't have in the beta. And tigers do, Siberian tigers do sort of come from the East Asia kind of location. But I'll go into a little bit more detail on that in a second. So I've done a little bit of research on this one, not too much, but we've done a bit. So that's what we're going to do. A little bit of a Asian inspired enclosure for this one. I'm trying to make it quite natural using just barriers rather than fencing to keep them from harm and to make sure the guests don't get injured as well, as these things can be quite feisty. So the building we're putting in just here at the back, this is going to be the back of the enclosure. This is going to be one of the staff areas, so all of the utilities and facilities and all that kind of stuff, so staff room, workshops, well not workshops, what are they called, keepers rooms, keepers huts, and all that kind of stuff is going to be hidden away in a themed building. The animals themselves will have a nice little indoor area where they can get out of the way, and there's going to be a little bit of fencing that just covers up an entryway so the staff can still come in and out. But you'll see all that as we get through. But yeah, generally the idea is I want to make this look nice, but also realistic, is the plan for these little builds. And they're all going to be one-off, so each one's going to be built in its own sort of sandbox mode. And every single one of these that we're going to do here on the channel will be up on the workshop. So the final version of this is uploaded, so the link is in the description. If you'd like to have a look at it in more detail, you can do. So yeah, the link is down below in the description to this workshop item. So Siberian tigers then. I did a little, like I said, a little bit of a research. So they kind of come from Russia and northeast China, so also North Korea as well. So it is pretty much in that Eastern Asian zone. And yeah, in this game we've got a male and a female. We put in a male and a female in this habitat, and by the end of the video they do have a little kitty. So we are making some babies as we get through this one. So yeah, that's generally how we are tackling this. In terms of their conservation status, real life conservation status, they are classed as endangered. There's not many of them left in the world. I don't know if I have an exact number. I don't think I wrote that down, but they are endangered. I think, let me have a quick look here. I believe the last census was done in around 2015, and there's only a few hundred of them left, I believe. So there's not many at all of these bad boys. So yeah, that's what we are doing, and if we can raise a little bit of awareness, then there we go. So like I mentioned, in terms of the enclosure we're doing, this little area that I'm digging out here is going to be the entrance for the staff. They're going to go through a little bit of a cave, and then towards the end we do put that within a building that attaches onto our sort of existing building there. And so all this will be covered up, so from the guest view, everything looks nice, because that's, like I say, what I want to sort of accomplish with this, is that it looks brilliant from guest angle, it's serviceable for the staff, and also the animals are really happy with it. So that's what we are doing. So I had a few issues with the barriers here, so I've cut most of it out of the video. But the general idea was I wanted there to be a fence and a gate here at the bottom of the steps, and the rest of the enclosure will be invisible barriers. So just using the actual face of the rock that we've carved out is the barrier. For whatever reason, when I first put this first version in that you're looking at now and tested it with the heat maps, there was like 20 areas where they can climb out. So I don't really know what I did wrong, but I fiddled around with it well, I'll say it was on camera, but I've edited that out. I fiddled around with it, and in the end I had to put a portion of actual fencing around the sort of left hand side, but then later on we do cover that up with rock work. Just to hide it, because I don't want you to see any actual fence. That was my main thing for this one. I wanted it to look quite natural, because a big part of this enclosure for the guests, we do put a bridge. Well, you see the bridge over the top of it, so that's one of the main viewing areas, is that bridge. So I wanted to make sure there was no fences or like chain link or anything like that that's visible for the guests. So that's the main reason why we've sort of hid most of it, either in the rock work or behind the scenes. So yeah, I did have a little bit of a faff, but in the end we got there, and we are just left with a little bit of rock work and a fence. I think I had to redo it again, because I was sat there for ages after I think I bought the tigers. I'm not sure if we were there yet in the video. I just couldn't figure out why they wouldn't deliver them. Yeah, this is the bit now. The path wasn't joined up to the fence, so there was literally no way the staff could come, and it took me ages to figure it out. Oh dear, I was tired. This is a couple of days later, actually, from this film. It actually took the span of 2-3 days, this enclosure. And I think total time, once we've scaled it back, is around about 3 hours worth of build, all in all. So it's quite a meaty one over the course of a couple of days since launch. So a little bit of a cut there. That's when I was fiddling around with the fences, and this is where I'm just putting in now the sleeping area for the tigers. So it's kind of all meant to blend together, this building, to make it look like it's layers on a mountain. So the idea I was going for is if take the tigers out of it, this little hillside could look quite realistic in terms of a little village. Is what we aim for. I'm going for a tiered effect to give a bit of a forced perspective, and also to make things blend a little bit better. We do put a bit of theme in around the staff path as well. That's toward the end of the video, just to tie it all together. And once we start doing the planting and stuff, I think it really does bring all the areas in nicely. So that's the idea for that little for the few buildings. In terms of the guest side of things, we do put in some shops and toilets and that sort of stuff. The 3 guest areas we put in terms of shops, are blueprints. So just want to put that out there straight away. The guest areas are blueprints. However, all of the other stuff in this is all fresh build. All the other buildings and everything else. A couple of blueprints in terms of the flowers and gardens and stuff, but most of it is all new. Using the plant types and all that kind of stuff that the tiger wants in there, keeping it all relatively Asian. There's a few mismatch bits of trees and stuff in here, but it all works. I think it makes it look quite full in the end, and I want to give them enough places where they can hide. Because it's quite an open area, this, so giving them a few little places they can hide within the trees and the bushes and all that kind of stuff, it works quite well. And they seem to be relatively happy, for the most part anyway. So like I mentioned, a little bit of history then on the game and where we're going with it. So we are, alongside these builds, we are doing the campaign. So the first video of the campaign went out 2 days ago. So if you'd like to see us play through the whole campaign, then check that video out. Yesterday we had a quick look at all the different biomes and all the weather effects. So that looked quite beautiful. Some of these biomes are absolutely fantastic. When you compare them to the Planet Coaster ones, which are really, really basic, yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. So that was a little showcase of that yesterday. This build today, as of right now, me recording this voiceover, I'm going to be starting the next Enclosure build pretty much after this. So that should be out hopefully early next week. As the schedule I'm going to try and stick to for Planet Zoo is Monday to Friday uploads. And nothing on the weekends unless I get a bit of extra time, but that's the aim. So hopefully we'll get another video out Monday. That's the plan, and then some more campaign stuff along with a few one-off videos like this one, and then eventually we are going to start a full themed zoo experience as a big build series, because I say big, it's going to be a small zoo because I don't want to tackle anything too big as of just yet, but we are going to do a full zoo, so numerous different animals, different enclosures, different buildings, and really go to town on the theming and make it a very, very high budget and high quality place. That's the plan. But that's why a few of these little bits that we're doing now are mainly for inspiration and just to get an idea of the pieces and how everything fits together. Like already from this one quick 3-hour build, I've got a nice sort of grasp of the Asian style and the Asian set. So I think, yeah, a few more of these using a few different styles and a few different themes, we can get the idea of everything in the game, because that's the thing about Planet Coaster. There's not much stuff in that game that I don't know is there in terms of pieces and theming and that kind of stuff. So if I need a piece, I pretty much know everything that's in the game. I'm not there yet with Planet Zoo. So if I see an area, I'm like, oh, such and such piece would fit nicely there. I'm not at that stage yet. So a couple of weeks worth of one-off builds, but give me your input. If you'd like to see a specific animal or theme or type of enclosure, let me know, and I can try and take requests and we can see what we can do. But yeah, let me know in the comments or Twitter or whatever it is, and we can try and make this a little bit interactive. And then yeah, we'll start a big build soon-ish. I'm thinking maybe December we'll hit that. So give me a bit of a month to find my feet in the game, and then we'll start a big build series. I do want to have a play around with some of the track rides as well, because there are a couple of new. Well, I think there's a new one in this since beta, which is like a little sort of gondola capsule type thing. I've not had any. I've not looked at any of it yet. I've not even put down a flat ride. A transport ride. So we'll have a look at that. We might do a whole video on transport rides and just see how they work, because I'm quite intrigued by them. So that's something we'll probably do down the line as we get through into this game. Like I say though, let me know if there's anything else. If there's something really specific that you'd like to see. So maybe you haven't managed to get the game yet, or you're still on the fence whether to get it, and there's something you'd love to see before you make that jump and that leap to buying it, let me know, and I can always do a video or explaining something, or to the best of my ability. Obviously I'm still learning myself, as is everyone. It's a brand new thing, and I'm sure there's going to be some gaps filled with DLCs down the line. That's something that I've talked about in a previous video. I obviously have no knowledge of anything, just purely based on how the cycle worked with Planet Coaster. I could see them doing maybe every 3 months a DLC pack. So my guess is the first one will probably be due January, February time next year. It could be like an aquatics pack or birds or something like that, is how I think they'll do it. I think they'll do a new type of animal with a new theme. But it's early days. They might not even do any DLC, but I think they will. But as soon as we hear more, I'll let you know. I'll keep scouring the Steam database, as I always do, to try and get some hints of when these things might come. But realistically, I can't imagine it's going to be any time between now and the new year. I don't think we'll get anything this side of Christmas. They might surprise us, but I don't know. Well, like I said, as always, I'll keep you updated. So for anything like that news-wise about the games, we do cover that here on the channel as well as the builds. So if you would like to stay up to date with all the latest news from this and Planet Coaster, drop us a subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay up to date. Quickly on Planet Coaster, I am still going to be playing it, just not as much. Now this is out, but there is still going to be Planet Coaster content. So this builds that we had running in Planet Coaster aren't dead. They're just going to take a bit of a back seat, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue them. So the pirate ride is continuing, and I am definitely going to get back into World Discovery at some point because I still love that theme and that idea. I mean, the new Epcot in Walt Disney World might be ready by the time I finish that build, but I'm not giving up on it. So for those people I've been asking, it's not dead. It's just on pause slightly, but I will get back to it. But obviously this has to take priority at the moment. It's the new game, I need to try all the new stuff, and I'm excited to play it. So this will be the main game on the channel for at least the time being. And you never know, Planet Coaster 2 might be announced within the next year. I don't know. It might be a long way off by now, but my guess is now they've wrapped up development on this. There'll be a small team working on DLCs, and the wider team are probably working on their next game. It might not even be a Planet title. It could be something completely different, like Elite Dangerous or whatever it's called. It could be something like that. But my strong guess is that Planet Coaster 2 is probably starting development around about now, if it hasn't already done so. But yeah, a few years off, I think, so let's not get excited just yet. But that's just speculation. Anyway, right, back to the build. So we're just about putting in the final touches, last bits of theming, bits of utility, boxing in all the buildings, as you can see here, sorting out the power. As I realised, I've lost power because my solar panel was indoors, obviously. I didn't realise that the game was that clever, but it is. So yeah, you can't put your solar panels indoors. I know, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Anyway, so we're just tying up all the loose ends, and now what I'm going to leave you with is a few little normal real-time shots around the enclosure, looking at the tigers and just seeing how they interact with each other. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. It's been, like I say, 3 hours worth of build. I know it's all very sped up and very fast, you can't really get a good look at it, but hopefully these real-time shots now will give you a good indication of what we've put together. And like I mentioned earlier, if you would like to download it for yourself, you can do that. All the links are in the description the link is in the description for the Steam Workshop page, where you can download this and have a look around it if you would like. I think it worked. I've not tested it, but let me know if it doesn't. But yeah, that's all in there. So thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the latest Planet Zoo news and builds that we're going to put together here. And any ideas for stuff, like I mentioned previously, make sure you leave it in the comment below. Get me on Twitter or Discord, and just give me some pointers of what you would like to see next in the game. But for now, guys, I will leave you with a few more shots, and that's going to do us for this video. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye.